Douglas's speeches and writings, many white Northerners had their blinders removed so they could truly see and understand the evil nature of slavery. Yet racial and cultural bias did not disappear with the abolishment of slavery. Still today, we suffer the effects and struggle to understand the perspective of those quite different from us. So, of course, I too am blinded by my own culture. To understand my blindness and how I believe I've been freed, at least to some extent, first requires understanding my background. I am a white male and was a police officer for 24 years in a racially diverse urban community. I was born and raised in the same community and lived most of my life in the city where I served. As a teenager, my high school had a dense population of African Americans. My wrestling team was coached by an African American man, and most of the athletes were African Americans. Although only a few white students earned spots on the team, I was fully welcomed and even loved. I developed friendships with my teammates, some of which have endured to the present day. After high school, I married an African American woman, and we now have been married for over 28 years and have 6 children. I am acquainted and even immersed to some extent in a diverse cultural context. I also have deep and meaningful relationships with African Americans. Yet sadly, neither my experiences nor my context freed me from the blindness and moral enslavement of police culture. For decades, I refused to accept what was painfully obvious for so many. Police brutality against minorities is not an issue of a few isolated and disconnected incidents, but a systemic condition of a compromised institution. My journey to light. Prior to starting my PhD studies, I was an assistant pastor in an African American church in an impoverished area. The senior pastor had an abiding love for his people suffering from the effects of urban poverty. His mentorship helped free me from the influence of police culture, allowing me to witness the struggles and setbacks experienced by so many of my brothers and sisters during encounters with law enforcement. The congregation's gracious acceptance of my presence similarly humbled me, further tearing down my walls of apathy. At this point in time, I began my research for my doctoral dissertation, a journey that began to peel away my blinders so I could see the light. Although enlightening, it was also difficult and painful. I gradually transitioned from nominal acknowledgement to substantial acceptance to passionate zeal for change. But my awakening was also predicated on experiences over 24 years, some quite traumatic, that helped me realize important factors paramount to the conclusions in this book. One early experience was particularly enlightening and, in hindsight, exposed the heart of the problem concerning police culture. I began my law enforcement career at 22 years of age. I spent 4 months in the police academy, learning laws and standards of conduct, as well as training in defensive tactics, driving, and firearms. The academy also indoctrinated me into a particular culture. For the most part, police academies are managed by police officers, and the training is shaped by the stories and experiences that the instructors tell. As a cadet, you're not just learning the curriculum, you're absorbing the officers' attitudes, vocabulary, and mannerisms, and the instructors are seasoned cops, which is the future every cadet hopes to achieve. I remember one instructor whose extensive experience in street crimes captivated me. As a young man, I admired him and hoped to be just like him. Looking back, I can see how my experience in the academy began to reshape my thinking, speech, and even who I perceived myself to be. After the academy, I spent 4 months with training officers. Approximately 8 months after I first walked in the door of the police department, I was on my own in a police cruiser. My grasp of the power I possessed did not run much deeper than a single superficial thought. I cannot believe they are letting me do this. Within my first year of experience,